Hello and welcome to my Westknits diary for 2023, and this would be the clue 4 entry, except we're still on clue 3 and I've got Annie climbing all over my lap and she's filthy because we've been gardening. So this is future me, just about to get editing this video, but I thought I'd pop on and say I'm very sorry that this is so late. It took me a lot longer than anticipated, as it probably has for most people. So here I am editing, and actually I've forgotten half of the stuff that I put in, to be honest. So the plan was to do the 4 clues and then sort of thoughts and a summary at the end. I don't think we need to do another one. I think I'm going to put my thoughts at the end. I think my thoughts are quite clear, in my opinion. Is quite clear, it generally is. But let's just get into clue 4, although at the time of starting this video, when clue 4 came out, I was still doing clue 3. It is now currently blocking on my bed, finally. But let's go through the process. So this is how far I've got. That way up, please. Thank you. Gosh, it is getting big. So I have sewn in most of the ends, and today I am going to do this side of it. I have seen the spoiler for clue 4 because I wanted to be sure that I actually wanted to do it. I do. It's actually a new stitch. Wow, a new technique, a new stitch. So yeah, I'm interested in getting into that. I am just about to go off and have my hair cut because it's getting a bit like a mullet. It's been 12 weeks growing it out. So I'm going to trot along and get my hair cut. Hopefully she won't cut it so bad that I can't tuck it behind my ears, because I'm kind of enjoying that now. Annie wants to play ball. She's going to be very disappointed. I'm sorry, darling. I'll see you later. Hello. Well, that's been a bit of a busy afternoon. I've been and had my hair cut. She messaged me to say she was home early, so I toddled over there quickly. I've planted my bulbs ready for spring. I saw it on TikTok. I'm a bit of a TikTok addict. I saw lasagna bulb planting, so you put the tallest planters at the bottom, put a layer of soil on, then put the next one and then the next one, so you've got like a long flowering pot. I've got a nice raised bed out there. I'm not going to be doing vegetables next year because I'm not going to be able to do any planting. So I have some tulips at the bottom, then I have some narcissi, then crocus, and then ranunculus. So they'll match my my sweater, my 2 sweaters. Indeedy. So it is, where are we at? 10 to 2 in the afternoon, but we're getting on with it. I have decided, because this isn't a fun knit for me, I made the decision that I am going to do it, which makes it work as opposed to fun or play or whatever. So I just made the decision that weekends and some evenings are me time, me knitting. So at the weekends I don't work on this. I finished this last Thursday, finished the other side last Thursday. I was at work all day Friday. I'm up. Excuse me. Thank you. Work all day Monday. So today's Tuesday. And Annie's being very naughty. You can just see her ears here. Look, shut up or go away. Or both. So I am now just popping my needle back through, taking out my stitch holder cord, barber cord, whatever you want to call it. Next door's cleaner's turned up. For some reason, she's one of these women that seems to need to announce to that entire county that she's arrived, and we all have to listen to it. That's always fun. She's got one of those voices that can, it's like nails down a chalkboard. And Annie dislikes it very intently. Don't you, doll? Right, so we're trying to get all these stitches onto the needle without it coming off the needle and dropping all the stitches. Halfway through. So I think we've got to basically do the same but backwards, because it's going to be a sort of triangle but without a pointy bum. I will get into the pattern in a bit once we're on the needles. I shortened the cable on these needles because they're my Chalgu interchangeables, and that actually really helped me knit a bit faster because I wasn't fighting with the cable. Although I think for clue 4 I'll have to put the longer cable back on, because we're basically doing point to point and around the bottom. I've had a look on the Ravelry page, and I've been speaking to people in Kelly's Discord group about some of the options that there are out there. So one of the test knitters for Stephen West, because basically the shawl comes out to the points, down and then flat, and then you're supposed to pick those up and knit them back and forth. I don't like that shape so much, and clearly one of his test knitters didn't so much either. So they have they put some German short rows in across the bottom just to round that out a bit, and they've done it in stripes, and I am over ends. I am so over ends, even though there's going to be a million to go here. So I'll probably just do it in the one colour. My other thoughts on the finishing of clue 4 are that he suggested that we put a fringe on. No, thank you. I suspect I will enjoy the stitch, and I suspect I will put more rows on than he suggested. I'm quite happy to do that. I'll see how big it gets first, though. I don't need an enormous shawl. Another enormous shawl. I love my enormous shawl that I did last year. Kelly's Bated Breath. I absolutely love it. I don't need another massive one. So if it gets too big, I will stop. But yeah, I can see me doing a few extra rows if I'm enjoying them. And then, yeah, my idea is to add some mohair to the cast off row, which of course is I-cord. I love I-cord. I'm happy to do I-cord. So I'm thinking about adding some mohair. So rather than a fringe, it'll just have a bit of a halo and not be too much work. Because by the time I get to that point, I will be so over this. I have some thoughts about the shawl overall, which I will share in a final video some other time. I'm going to crack on with this. I'm going to put my lamp on and put my glasses on. And, oh yeah, I did say I was going for a haircut, didn't I? So, it didn't really cut much off. I can still tuck it behind my ears. Haven't styled it or anything, but I've got a shorter fringe. A couple of days time and that all relaxes. That would be great. Yeah, so I'm going to show my overall thoughts and opinions and feelings on the shawl and the goings on in a final episode of this. But for now, I'm going to get going. All of those stitches. That looks very odd. So, there we go. I will see you in the next part. Morning, Wednesday morning. Just dropping in with my progress This is what I got done yesterday. I'm pretty much celebrating every time I decrease, because you only decrease one side, because obviously it's doing the triangle thing. I just want to drop in and impart some tips if you haven't done this yet, if there's possibly anybody behind me on the shawl journey. A couple of things. So first of all, the pattern has you. This is really hard to manage at the moment. I'm going to put that over my shoulder to hold it up. So you're essentially, all of those stitches you've got on a needle, there's a point in the middle there somewhere, and you cast these off in I-cord. Now, he tells you to take out the 2 stitch markers that are here in the middle. Then he tells you to put one back in exactly the same place that it was before it came out. So there are 2 in the middle. As you knit across, when he tells you to take them out, only take the second one out. If you leave the first one in, that is the correct stitch count for the pattern. And I yet again didn't have enough stitches, so I just chucked an extra stitch in. The second thing is, it's kind of confusing which edge to decrease. My husband has radar on when I start recording. The minute I start recording, down he comes from his office. So if you can hear pottering around in the kitchen, that's him. So the second tip is, because you're doing it backwards to the previous side, you don't necessarily get it right which end you're going to decrease. So put a stitch marker in after the 3rd stitch. Where's the camera at? There. So if you were to try and decrease on this side, you do knit 2 and then slip, slip, knit, but that's in the middle, which means you would physically have to remove the stitch marker in order to do that decrease, which would make you think. So there's my tip, and we're going to crack on. Future me back again, all finished finally. Today is, let's check, Tuesday the 14th of November. Life stuff happened, work stuff happened, but we are finished. I finished on Sunday. When I was finishing off clue 3, I basically just stopped every 2 or 3 stripes and just made an effort to weave ends in because they were getting me down. Some people carried the yarn up through the I-cord. I've never done that, and I didn't want to stop to work out how to do that. But yeah, that worked fine for them. I don't really understand why that wasn't part of the pattern, because honestly, the wastage, the absolute wastage of just trimming ends on this isn't absurd. It's such a waste of yarn. The whole thing is a waste of yarn. No, it's not. It's fine. So I thought we'd do a roundup and thoughts, and I'm going to do it quickly because I think my thoughts and opinions on this have been quite clear, as I said at the top of the video. So this was my first MKAL from Stephen West. Not my first MKAL. No, my first MKAL. I did a crochet along before. That was also bad, but that was because of poor pattern writing. This one was my first Stephen West MKAL. I was hoping to knit it as a surprise, as a secret. I lost complete trust in clue 1, and I didn't do anything blind at all. I think that's how some people do it. It's fine. I wish I could have just knitted it blind just for the experience, but the trust was gone. And I think, having seen the abomination in form of socks that he put out this year, I think that wasn't really a surprise. I do wonder if Stephen West needs to get a new pool of test knitters, ones that aren't so up his butt, that will actually tell him, this is rubbish, this isn't working, don't like this, this looks like a swastika. I wanted new techniques. I was looking forward to learning a bit of brioche. There was no brioche. That's fine. I can't expect brioche to just appear when I want it to. But the only real new technique that I learned was in Clue 4 with the dip stitch. And I'd kind of done that pulling up of, you know, from a different part in the knitting with my Ampulate socks from Rowan Cade's Kelly. This was a nice technique and a nice finish, but it's very clear that he doesn't wear these things, because 50% of that shawl is floats on the front. That is going to catch. I have a little dog. I work with dogs. I certainly can't wear it to work. I catch things all the time. I can't wear that. Maybe I'll wear it out, or maybe I'll try and felt them in. I don't know, but I can't wear that very often, because it's going to be an absolute wreck. What else? I've got a list, by the way. I'm reading from a list. Wasted yarn from all the ends with calf. I mean, I could have made another shawl out of that. It was ridiculous. And then when he said with the reversing out of Clue 1, or you'll have plenty of opportunities to use the yarn that you've wasted in making a Clue 1 that is now banned. Only if you want to make a really naff fringe around your shawl, and I don't. I think it looks naff. That's not for me. It's not for me. If it's for you, no judgment. We all have different tastes, but that is not for me. So even more wasted yarn, because obviously I switched colourways as well. So that middle square is just, maybe I'll just knit round and round and round it, make it into a little blanket for the dog or something. I don't know. Yeah, weaving freaking Stephen. Say no more. I mean, you know, let's rename all of the knitting techniques, shall we, for ourselves? We're calling the knit stitch the cat stitch from now on. Okay. Yeah. So in conclusion, it's pretty. It's the most boring thing I've ever knit. It was not a good introduction to the Westknits MKAL. Don't know if I'll do it again. I don't know. I'm going to see if I've actually got the energy for it next year. Not going to lie, I kind of enjoyed the interaction on here, on my vlog, with people and new subscribers. Never going to complain at new subscribers, and hello and welcome if you are new. But I am looking forward to getting back to my existing projects, getting on with something that isn't irritating the shite out of me. So it's currently blocking. I'm going to pop in a photo of it unblocked to show you, because the ends of it's finished with an I-cord, and I do not have a problem with doing I-cord. I'm quite happy to just sit and puddle through an I-cord, but it's curled because the end bit is so thick, because it's about 3 strands thick, so it's curled. So I am blocking the hell out of it, and I'm probably going to have to steam it as well, steam it flat. So I'll get some pictures in at the end to show you. If I don't get it fully blocked and finished, I will show it in person on my next podcast, which will be very soon. I'm hoping to do December Vlogmas, but there's a very strong chance I might be having surgery, so it might only last 2 weeks. Who knows, because I'm not going to be getting up too much while I'm sitting in a hospital bed, but we'll see. Anyway, so love to you all. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for watching, and we will be back to hopefully regular viewing soon. I have already cast on another project. I have got 2 jumpers on the go, 2 blankets on the go, 2 pairs of socks on the go, and I'm actually thinking about a 3rd pair of socks because I can't help myself. And I've got some yarn coming to make some very quick Aran socks for quick Christmas presents, because I'm going to have to get my Christmas presents organised by the second week of December by the look of it. So yay. Lots of love. Thank you for watching. Bye.